Hello, today we want to talk about the voice recording and basically today I will show you the basic setup for voice recording. Not so much what you see now on the screen, so the voice recorder, but behind the voice recorder all the setup for the PBX. It is important that first you do the right setup in your PBX and then you start this application. It has no sense starting this application if the homework is not done. Remember that the recording itself is done from the gateway. It can be done on physical gateways or logical gateways, and those gateways will produce pickup files on a compact flash or a WebDAV server. After that, the recorder itself will pick up those pickup files, decode them and compress them and store it. In any case, the recording itself is done from the innovaphone. So the first task we have to do, we have to produce those pickup files on the compact flash. Also, the voice recording can be done in different ways. In this short tutorial, I will show you just one, and this doesn't mean that there are other setups possible. So the first thing to do, we have to set up a gateway for the recording task. In my example setup, I have this gateway here assigned to doing the recording. You see here the UL. So each time a call will pass this gateway, and it will pass because I have switched on the media relay option, a pickup file will be stored on this directory. This means that just calls passing this gateway will be recorded. If, for example, I want to record also internal calls, I have to do a prefix, or I have to do voice recording in the phone set itself. On the other hand, each kind of phone and conversation passing this interface will be recorded. The gateway must be able to write on the indicated URL, and therefore in services client you have to indicate the path and the user and the relative password. In my test environment I didn't use the compact flash of the IP800, but I use the WebDAV server of a VMware player. And in this VMware player I started up the application processor. So this is my VMware player, and if I got the focus on it and put in the command if config, he will show me his address. So you see again, here is the address where I pointed on before. Now, if on my browser I put in this address, I will have access to the application platform. And on here you see is my reporting. But on here is also my WebDAV server. And in the administration WebDAV, I can, for example, force a HTTPS access. Now here, if I put in WebDAV, I see also a lot of directory, and for example I see a directory log, the one I indicated in the path. And if I look in, it's empty. Now the first thing to do, I access to the gateway and I will check if a pickup file is produced. So now I will do a call in the PBX. I will call the gateway, and from the gateway I will call again another extension. And now at the end of now I will close the call and do a refresh. And here we are, you see two pickup files. The number of pickup files displayed depends on the software version of your PBX. Version 11 you will see for one call 2 files, and the file name you see is extended. if you use version 10, you will see just one file without these extensions. The recorder anyway can handle both formats. Again, to remember, if this won't work, don't even start the recorder. It has no sense at all. The other issue that must work perfectly is the call detail recording. So call detail recording is done on the gateway level, and here you can put in the address. You see, in my case, I put in again my application platform. I select remote access with security on port 443. Of course, also for this service, I have to enable the access to the platform, but this is, in my case, yet done. Now, let's have a look to the call detail recording, or better to the reporting. Let's have a look if the call is here. Yes, this was the call I've done. This was the call where the recording was done. Later on, the recorder will put in these nice little items where you can play and pause a reproduction of the recorded file. But that's another story. Just after this successful setup and the relative test, start your recorder. Now let's have a look on the setup of the recorder. We will now not describe any option of the recorder. You will find the entire description in our wiki. We just focus on some items. In the PBX tab, you have to indicate the IP address of your PBX, the user and the password, the SOAP user, and the group where the agents are in. In the reporting tab, you indicate the address of your reporting engine, and also here you have to indicate the password and the path. The path is a default path, and normally it's no need to touch it. Now you have to indicate your pickup access. You see that the example is similar. If you use a compact flash, just put in the IP address. Of course, you must state the relative user and password, and then the path. You remember I wrote my pickup files on HTTP on this address webdav/log/. If you use a compact flash, you have to indicate drive compact flash 0 and then here your directory. Of course, if you has a HTTPS access, you have to flag that. I show you a slave setup where I used a compact flash. You see the syntax is basically the same. And now, last item to set up is the storage. It is quite simple. Just select your storage path where you want to store the recorded and converted files. Save and exit, and now anything is ready for operation. You see the recorder tries again to reach reporting and compact flash, and he is ready to convert. We wish you a lot of success with our voice recording solution.